All right, so far we covered everything that's been updated in the T2HA toolbar, and we've covered everything that's been updated on the templates, and we've shown you how you can create very large websites, either on behalf of other clients, or how would you do it for yourself? You just do subdomains for every city you want to approach, right? So if you do a business that has nationwide use, it doesn't matter what you're selling, online or off, you can do a subdomain for every major city. So say 200 major cities, Chicago, Denver, Atlanta. That becomes your subdomain column, right? So you get chicago.domain.com, your domain, atlanta.domain.com. And then because of the global variables, so the pages in Chicago can talk about taking care of Chicago residents or Chicago clients or free shipping to Chicago, whatever it is. Use the global variable for Chicago. So you never would type Chicago into the content. You type in the global variable for the city and the global variable for the state. And then that way, when we run out these projects, then you're treating each city specially, and Google gets to see that. Okay. If you have any questions about that, you can contact me. We have certainly covered that at one time or another in the videos because we've covered how you do the runs in the first place, and most of our runs are based on geo-targeting. But there you go. So let me get back to this. Right now, we want to cover the third part of this triad. I said we've been working on the triad of the templates, T2HA toolbar, and also the software installer. So let's talk about the software installer, what we've been doing in there, okay? Because this is sort of the crowning achievement that helps pull all of the automation together, okay? So we've automated the gathering of companies, automated the website production on their behalf, automated internal links, automated schema, okay? A lot of this has been automated and it's powerful. It's for canonical links, schema, internal links, and that's going to push up your rank something like 15 positions, 13, say, positions each per keyword on average. Now, what about the stuff we've been doing inside the software installer, because it's just as important and a whole new part of the puzzle, okay? Let's take a look, and real quick, I want to just remind you of a couple of things, okay? If you are doing work on behalf of clients and you're doing it for, let's say, some client in Portland, Oregon, okay, then you can actually go and look up cities that they need, and you can actually export that list as a CSV so that you can plug and play that. That can even become your global variables right there. This would be 25 cities I would use in my subdomains column, so I'd paste it in. How do I get them? Well, I just exported it, and guess what I have here? Okay, those are the cities, right? So I might make these right here the subdomains, right? And that would be it. If somebody said, how do you do subdomain with state? I'll just show you really fast, all right? I do it like this. I take this right here. I'd go lowercase, okay? And I'd use a concatenation method. And either you have the emoji toolbar for that, or if you don't, then just do it like this. Equals this, and let's put a dash in the middle in double quotes so that we can go and that. Okay, and I pull that down. So far, that's just the values. As you can see up here in the address bar, they're not really saved yet, but if I highlight it and copy it, and then just paste it special like that, is values. So what does that do? That gave me, delete, all of my subdomains so that I can make that the subdomains I needed for my subdomains column, right? So like here. So if I'm going to run this project out, okay, then I need, this is going to go down however far deep I go. But then there you go. These were the individual subdomains that I was going to create. My arrow is acting up, so just give it a sec. There we go. Okay. Control C. And there you have it. That would be, I keep hitting the wrong one. That one there. Okay. So that tells me everything I needed to know. Actually, this has got to stay template 4. So let me be careful about that, right? Don't make that mistake. There you go. And so now I can put all these runs wherever they would go. So if it is all going on the same website, that's pretty easy. But they could go on different websites, you know that. It's just normally when you do projects, you do them in some sort of order. And I could take this and copy it down, and then grab that, copy it down, and there you go. And then I would paste in whatever I needed for the global variables going down. Okay, and that's where we used, for instance, you know, reference USA global variable converter or your own database. Put it all in there. Then what? Then just hit the row filler to copy in everything else. And you know what? You're suddenly ready to create all those runs. Okay, they can be for the same company. Global variables, that can be the same phone number, the same address, the same email address, or whatever. You know, whatever you want. Okay, so there you have it. That's pretty easy. Now, that's useful. Let me point out some other things real quick. Get back on the subdomain installer. Okay, site authority checker. As you do work, okay, and you are improving the site authority you have. Okay, that means you get a lot of other websites talking about your website. What we are going to do in our case is create those other websites, and we are going to talk about our website from there. We're going to do all that kind of blog posting and create articles automatically that we can use to backlink ourselves to shove our rank up in the air. Okay, then you're going to want to check yourself versus your competitors. Okay, and if I were just to pretend that these guys are competitors, store.com, I'm just going to pretend all these things show up on the same website. They don't, or I'm sorry, for the same keywords. I'm just making a point here, and I would just say cement. Okay, and that way I can tell if I'm this guy, I can see why I'm not ranking. Or, you know, at least one of the biggest criteria for rank really should be that I need to have some sort of competitive, either domain authority is competitive or page authority is competitive with my competitors. If I'm not competitive, I should not expect to rank very, very well. Now, the domain authority is 15. Here it's 28. And again, there's a logarithmic scale. So this is more like 45 on a linear scale. And then 39. And this is more like 75 on a linear scale. Okay? So just keep that in mind. The strength of the website is based on these numbers. The strength of the website to rank is based a lot on these numbers, but not fully, right? If this website has really good stuff to say, and this website may have a lot of authority, it means a lot of other websites are talking about it, but at the same time, it doesn't have much to say, it may or may not be able to outrank this one for any certain keyword. Again, it comes down to keyword by keyword. Okay, so your overall ability to rank on all keywords is primarily going to be governed by these numbers, but the quality of your website allows you to have lower numbers and still outrank other websites with higher numbers. Still, it's something you want to pay attention to, especially if you can create backlinked content at full speed without much effort. Okay. Okay. So let me now step into this territory. How do we work on driving up our site authority and for the right keywords without having to actually hire copywriters, right, to do all that work? That's what this unique article generator is all about. We can create articles and view articles, and the keys for getting the key to do it. So if we're creating articles, here's where we have a keyword. Enter your keyword. Okay. And so I might enter something like, it depends, Kawasaki motorcycles, right? Whoops, Kawasaki motorcycles. Now, if we need to be more specific, I could get more specific, especially if I really want to rank for something in particular having to do with it. I might look up Kawasaki motorcycles models list. I might grab some of the model names, you know, Ninja 300. And then I'll put something else below that, you know. It just depends. If I'm really writing only about the Ninja 300, then I'll stick with that kind of thing, okay? There you go. Now I'm going to customize how my article gets written. How many sentence variations do I want? I might say 3. That's for main concepts. Number of paragraph variations, I might go with 3. I forget exactly how these work because I got to play with this more to see how I like fine tuning it. It really depends on how specific or generic you go. You might find that an average of 2 is the best idea. Okay. Do I want to shuffle paragraphs off or on? Well, it depends. If you can talk loosely about a thing and the order of the paragraphs doesn't really matter, then yeah, shuffle them. Otherwise, leave it off. Okay. Now we're going to customize the article style. How long is the article going to be? Short or very short, about 50 words? Long, like 750? Okay, that's definitely longer, right? Now, should we add titles and headings to our articles? Very often, yes, especially if we're trying to get the stuff to take care of itself. Okay. We're going to add an image. This is going to be with a probability of 100%. We always want to have an image, most likely. I mean, you don't have to abide by that. And same with a video. So if you want to have it every other article, then go with 50%. You know. Should we add spinning? And that's where I want to step back and remind you. This article generator is not a spinner per se. It does not spin, and it does not use curated content either. It's not quoting anyone. When you type this stuff in and you give it some standard settings for everything and you hit submit, this system will read, this writer will read like tens of thousands of articles really, really, really fast about what you specify. And by doing that reading, it will develop a bell curve about what those articles are normally about. So it will generally figure out what the paragraph 1 is about, what the paragraph 2 is about, the paragraph 3, and then it's going to go sentence by sentence. It's going to come out with some standards for the highest probability of whatever's being talked about inside each sentence, inside each paragraph. Okay, and that's why shuffling paragraphs, you know, it's going to affect things. But having said that, once it gets done, it writes an article in its own words. And the English is great. Very, very well controlled English. Not anything you have to worry about for Google. Okay, so it's going to be done well. Now, here's the part where you start to change that a little bit. If you want to add spinning, you can. Now, why would you do that? If you're writing a unique article one time, one topic, you wouldn't do that. But if you want to add spinning on purpose because you're going to take this new article of yours and create lots of variation articles really fast, it's pretty cool because it's not really curated. You're copying only from yourself, okay? Really new information, then you might get away with it. And a lot of times you kind of can't, especially if you go with short articles, not 750, but like 50 or 200, because it's going to be more informational and you're putting it where in different places saying, hey, come check us out. We do this, that, and the other. Okay, short articles. But if you're creating a web page, then you don't need to spin anything. All right, so just think about it. If you do spin, okay, then that comes down to other options that are included. Word API is being capable. So if you have the individual tools involved, there will be links for that here so you can get them. Then you'll have all of this opportunity. Turing spinner, you can flip it on if you want. What's the quality going to be? Okay, that's a big deal. Rewrite sentences, yes or no. You can decide if it should. Add, remove, rearrange sentences. Again, it comes down to whether there's a logical order to your material or not. You might leave it off. You might even leave rewrite sentences off just so it doesn't get looking too weird. But it's up to you. It's really up to you. And then hit submit. And it's going to create articles. Now, when it creates the articles, it'll take some few minutes each, like 3 to 5 minutes to generate one. Where are you going to see your articles? Under View Article. Okay. So then when you view an article and you're checking it out, okay, then you can go to your article and see what you got. I'll give you an example. I might come to this one, okay, Kawasaki motorcycles. I did it earlier. So check this out. I did a short one. I think it was like 250 words was the general idea, okay, and I included a random image and a random video. I would include these anyway, even if I'm not going to use that image or that video, or especially the video. Why? Because then I get the YouTube embed code. So if I just want to trade it for some other YouTube video, that's easy. All right. By the way, what are your options here? Okay, you can write a new article. You can hide the articles on the side or view them. Okay, in case they get in your way. You can update the key. All right, that's if you need a new key. You can get a spun version of this and watch how much is happening here. Okay. All right, may not look like much happened there. Kawasaki Motorcycles Guide. Let me just look closer. Me and Kawasaki Motorcycles. Okay, yeah, it's moving some of these things around, and so you're seeing different things appear. It also was flipping the placement of the images too in some of these. I was pretty impressed with that. Okay, now if you do include a video, you can use the Google XML video sitemap, and you can pretty much make this page appear on Google like in a couple of hours. Okay, now you can look at the HTML the way we're looking at it, or you can flip it to text just to see what the text is from end to end. This is the whole text. Okay. If you want, you can copy, and you're copying the HTML code. So for those of you who are saying, how would I create a new page? You know, GDR5, like let's say this is actually where I wanted to put the page. Okay. Well, I can go to pages, add new page, and look at this, source code, paste, pull it out. All right, so now I can do something like this. And so I might just say Kawasaki's motorcycle, you know, Kawasaki's motorcycles war as just an idea for getting a different page URL and different canonical URL. And what would the browser title for the page be? I might just use that, right? Okay. And then what would like the meta description be? I don't really care about meta keywords. I might use something like this. Control C and paste. And guess what? Now, if I had any coding I wanted to put in here, I could. And I could save it. You know what that means also? And if I want to add like a module, like a contact us module, I can literally do it. I could stick it wherever I think it makes sense to stick it. You know, up high or down low. So I could go like contact us and make that a, you know, the contact us module. And if I wanted to put sidebar in there, you know, I could stick the sidebar, hit save, and now I can just go see what that looks like. I might even just go to the front and then hit this and just see what it looks like. How's that? Isn't that pretty cool? This is how you add filler to your website. So I added all the sidebar widgets. It's like way too many. So I just come back to that page and I pull a bunch of the widgets out, right? Like I don't need all those widgets. I get whichever ones I wanted. Your satisfaction contact form. Like how many can I use? Probably down to whatever snippet is, you know, this thing here. Let me see if I can understand that. Like that. Update and reload. There. That way I've got just the right number of, you know, sidebar items so it doesn't like run clean off the page. Okay. I could put another one or two in there probably. But anyway, there you go. So this is all the stuff. This is the contact us form populated. This is, you know, the video will play. You can watch it or not. Okay. All this other stuff is here. I can do whatever I want with it. Now, obviously, Kawasaki Motorcycles doesn't have anything to do with this, but nothing stops me from going and creating articles that have to do with this to keep adding filler content to my website. Could I put these articles on some kind of a blog and then attach it up here? Yeah, of course, because for pages, you have the choice of external page link, and you can make that be anything else like your blog.com and hit update and reload, and that actually becomes a link that goes to your blog. So literally nothing else matters in the page in that concept. So if I flip this again, just to show you, and I click this, it's going to leave the site. It's going to go to a something called yourblog.com, right? There you go. So you'd be able to link yourblog.com, whatever it is, into the header actually. So that's pretty useful, wouldn't you say? Now, what else could I do? Since if I add more content like that, especially if I add several pages, I could download that sample feed file again and run it through my T2HA toolbar so that I can update all the internal links to include the new one. Because again, I'd be writing about the same topic, garage door repair. So chances are good I'm creating a new page title that can be linked to from some of the other pages, from natural paragraph contents. Then close it and upload it. And I just included my new pages into all of those internally linked pages on the site to improve my website score, my pages score, everything else I needed, right? Now, here's another piece before you do the copying of this into the website, which is pretty useful. Replace keywords with links. What could my keywords be? Well, maybe Kawasaki motorcycles. That's a pretty good keyword. What else? Well, DT1250. If I had a particular page for that, a particular page for that, a particular page for anything else I wanted in here, I could go ahead and create some cool links, you know? And by doing that, I can add external authority links. I can add backlinks to myself or other websites. And so how would you do it? You'd hit replace keywords with links. You're going to add one. You're going to stick that in there. Make it link to theme2html.com. Well, I wouldn't link there, right? I link to whatever it is that makes sense, you know. War on, you know, motorcycles.com or .html or whatever it is, or just war on motorcycles. Now, it doesn't matter. Wherever, you know, whatever the page would be. Now I'd hit replace. And guess what? It just worked. So this now goes there. Now, of course, that page doesn't exist, but if it did, then we'd be going there, right? So if I wanted to add another one, like for Star Motorcycles, okay, Control C, could add another one, and I can make that go to, you know, starmotorcycles.com. Pitch, right? Offer.html or whatever it is. And guess what? I just did. Okay. Now again, the page isn't there really, but whatever. Now the point is this. Now if I copy, I got it. So now if I come back to my page where I've been working on this thing the whole time, I can make it a regular normal page with or without a menu link. And I can replace this source code. Control A, Control V, and you know what? Update and reload. Let me go check it out. Oh, that's right. Hold on. Oh, that's right. Of course. Let me get the right information. Update and reload. You know, a better page, right? Because it's what it's got to be a better page. So, whoops. Gotta refresh. I will get this yet. Okay. There we go. And how did I miss the bit with the coding? I must have done that somehow, or it's still not. We may still have to touch this up just to get it right. If I need to, I'll do it this way. I'll click in here, Control All. Oh, I won't do it that way after all. I'll do it like this. There. That's correct. Now, of course, we're going to go ahead and fix the stuff anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay. Control Alt, Control V. We're just finishing it all off now for the first time. Now, is it not getting the links for that kind of thing? I would think so. Top choices. Unless it's just not refreshing this information after all. Either way, we will get it. We will make sure it works. I think it's not grabbing. Oh, I got to copy this code. That's why I'm grabbing the wrong button. I'm hitting that one. I need to hit this. That's why. It's a different box. It's just operating inside the change box. Control Alt, Control V, source. There, see that? Now, update. That's what it is I was doing wrong. Couldn't quite figure it out. So, yeah. Again, I could go back and reformat links and coloring and everything else. That's the advantage of having, you know, T2HA. But what I wanted to say about this is, guess what I just did? I created links to other pages on the same site. That's the idea. And I've got pages that link to the same page. Really, it's just helping Google understand what this page is supposed to be about. That's great too. And also, I've got links to other external authority websites, which is great too. Linking out to other external authority websites usually can raise your rank 5 to 7 positions all by itself. Okay, let alone creating new content on your website is called filler content, giving your website more to say. So if you give your website more to say and you externally link for the people who are interested in that, you're really giving Google lots of reasons to rank you higher. Okay, now we can easily, between internal linking, canonical links, schema with global variables, and then creating unique content like this as filler content to add into our websites, we can raise our rank easily 2, 3 pages maybe, keyword by keyword on average, especially for everything you go after if you do this stuff right. And then the final piece to that is, how do you keep rising? You create more websites that you use to backlink this website. So you would have a second website like this, but somewhere else, and you have it linked to this website. Okay. And by doing that with a bunch of other websites, you're going to drive your page authority up, your domain authority up. You're going to drive up your rank for your keywords. And the coolest thing is, where do you get all the contents for all of those filler websites, those referral websites? You generate unique content. If I come back here and I say create article, and I put the exact same information in, it will create a brand new article for me. You will create a whole new article for me. Okay, that's pretty interesting. But then if I want to show Google, and so that's if I go to another website to create the same kind of article and then have a backlink, the first website, same kind of article. But then if I just want to create more filler, I'll just find the next niche over. I'd still go Kawasaki motorcycles, but I'll use some different models, for example, and make that a whole new page. And then create some variations on that that I can put out on the other websites. As a matter of fact, think about that. Okay, view article. What was it, 25? Okay, this goes on one website. I could do the bit with replace keywords, but then also that goes on another website. And I could also do the bit with replace keywords. So this one's going to backlink my first website on purpose to make my first website even stronger. And bring this one up by the act of backlinking. Then guess what? I'm going to create another one. I'm going to either, you know what I'm going to have this one do maybe? Backlink both of those two. So I have some backlink in here will go to the one website, some backlink will go to the other website, some other backlink will go to the, authority website like Star Motorcycles, okay? And by doing that kind of thing over and over again, I am creating multiple website backlinks for myself with completely unique content, okay? Pretty interesting, right? This is how you move fast and get what you want into operation. So there are ways that we can do this that are extremely valuable for us. And so now I have covered everything. I've covered internal linking, external linking, creating completely unique content. You can have, if you really were going to pay a copywriter, what would you do? Create a bunch of articles and then have your copywriter go through and just clean them up. Clean them up, make them into new pages on one or more websites. You could easily do that. Then you go in there and just clean that up. All right. That way you just wind up with whole new things said. Piece of cake though. So there you go. This is all the crazy power that we have. All right. And this is great for that, you would do your main pages yourself, right? Somehow you have to say what you have to say. So you or somebody has to write that content or copy it from someone else and then fashion it into your own words. After that though, Tier 1 content is just when you keep adding more pages on your own website for yourself. They don't have to be in the menu. They can be here in the side. They can be here in the footer. They could even just be other links on some of the pages. You just found a way. Now they keep on page so much. But you found a way on some of these pages, to create some links to your new page. And like I said, if you do it with the toolbar, you can create those internal links. So if you're creating a lot of pages about the same kind of topic, you're going to keep creating pages with this. New pages with new ways to use the keywords. And that means that you're going to have more pages, and all the pages on your website are worthy of linking to each other. And then you can keep creating tier 2 content fast and hard with this. The kind of content that people aren't particularly reading, okay? But you are using on purpose to create links to yourself and or your other websites and or external authority websites so that you can keep driving your score up higher and higher. All right, guys, if you understand what we've been putting together, we can actually create lots of websites for lots of companies, or at least lots of websites for ourselves, and we can create the content we need, the internal links we need, the external links we need, the cross links we need. We can keep doing it automatically, all right? And this is the value of all this stuff. This is what's going on. All right, so there you go. What do you want to do to get your hands on all this? By the way, if you get the software installer, it includes the latest two panels with templates. So it includes the GDR5 with its panels, with its templates, and it includes that new LS5 with its templates. That means you're going to have full width looping video capability. You can even turn these top ends off, put in links, do whatever you want to do. Okay, and anything else you want to do. If anybody was wondering, if I have the looping video, can I have the wording show up in the button to contact more? Yes, absolutely. You can have that while the video is playing. People can reach up and click the link in the video, and it'll take them to whatever page you want it. So for those of you that want that, you can get it. What's the greatest advantage that you have across all these new templates as you're grabbing them? If you didn't know, you can make lots of websites rapidly with completely different templates. You know how valuable that is for Google? Just the fact that you can create pages on tons of different website layouts. One more thing I want to point out because it's so valuable. For those of you that either didn't know or you didn't look, under batch installation, there's a download templates format. If you hit that, okay, that gives you this. When you open it, okay, these are the instructions on the first tab. This is it, instructions. First time you're reading it, it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's almost constantly copy replace stuff. Okay, very specific, very clear. You can't really mess this up. And there are only a few instructions. The first one is log into your software installer. Okay, then make sure you added your domain to the website list, and it tells you how. Okay, then it's just 8 steps really, and you're done. And it gives you some extra useful notes. So what is it really going to show you? How to do copy replace here and here, copy replace inside of here and here, copy replace for this, and copy replace for that. And that's about it. And what are you going to do? You're going to wind up with something that looks like this, and you're just going to copy it. And you're literally just going to come back here and paste it. Now, this is fake data, so it's not going to work. But if it was real data, I could install those websites immediately to all those subdomains I just wanted. And here's going to be all those links. Do you know how cool that is? Because guess what that means? These will exist, or actually would have to do it in here. You would have to do it with this information. So you would highlight, I guess you just control all. Yeah, and that's it. It's nice and easy. Just control all, copy. Yeah, this would be the information. Okay, clear data, paste this instead. Then if I process, it'll install all those, because if you have them in your file repository, okay, which comes with the full ownership, and you have them, then you can immediately install them, complete with the panels. And you know what that means? You can log into each panel and just start creating your tier 1, tier 2 content for each of those websites and have them all backlink whatever you want to be the masters, where your real contents are. Now that's really truly powerful, because you can also use the same websites to run entirely different projects for entirely different industries. After all, what you think you were seeing when you're even seeing all these different industries. It just makes it easier and easier to do, right? So you could do many different projects at once if you wanted, okay? These templates don't force you into anything. You can use these for any kind of content you want, any kind of images you want. And if you're doing tier 2 content, it's just so much easier because you don't have to be exact in whatever you're doing. But if you want to go produce all these and start working with them one at a time, you're going to create your backlinking empire quickly, very, very quickly. You would only need, what, 58 in this case, versions of the same pages. You could go spin them 58 times, paste them into all of these things, create your backlinking and your internal linking, and all these sites are going to be really powerful. You can do internal linking on all these sites, as well as creating filler content, as well as creating crosslinks, backlinks, internal links, external authority links on all these websites, right? But keep in mind, it's only the newest websites that have the canonical and the schema and built in such a way you can use global variables. You can run it out on bulk export with the feed files, and that just frees you up. Those of you that want us to do projects for you and you don't see anything for that, let us know. Otherwise, the best way to start, especially kicking into the new year, get these tools, okay? And so just come here, hit this link, and there you go. There's the page with all the offers. You can browse through them and see what's going on. By the way, the directories. Those of you that go out of your way to get a directory, as well as the software installer, as well as the new templates, which comes with the software installer. If you buy the new or the software installer, $295, if you buy it, it includes these templates, as well as a cPanel, so you can start getting to work. Okay, then what's the point of all that? If you also get a directory, not only can you create an empire of websites that do all the backlinking to each other, but you can put them into a directory. So if you really were thinking ahead, create an empire for garage door service repair across the nation, and then sell that set of websites with the directory to a big dispatch center. Okay, you can do things like that. You can actually go that far now. And you could actually do a whole new industry every couple of days, day or two. Theoretically, you could just do it as fast as you want. Take enough time and just keep plugging away. Now, if you want to customize all of your websites, you can do that. It'll take you longer, but you'll just have a so much more powerful structure in the end. The content's easy. You can keep adding new pages. You can keep filling them with new contents. Anything that looks like it's off and you say, I want to rearrange it, you guys know this, right? You can go to the pages and you can just drag this where you really want it to go, maybe there, and save the sorting. Okay. And there you go. Everything just changes that way, right? So much easier. Okay. All right, everything's there and it's able to be done, and really kick into it. We're starting off 2017 with some of the most powerful tools. We're going to keep talking strategy, development, figure out how to expand yourself. If you want to see an idea of how to use this stuff, watch this video. It's short, it's 15 minutes. Okay, watch it, and it helps you really understand how to think about all this. And the fact that we can build it now really, really fast, that's amazing. All right. I am looking forward to working with you and seeing what we all can do in 2017.